Hello friends. In this lecture today we will be dealing with a very important topic, that is how to deal with map questions. Many of you fear map questions and get confused when a little difficult questions come in the prelims paper. So don't get afraid of it. Don't fear those questions. If you practice them very well in advance, then you can easily solve those map questions. So in this lecture, I will tell you how to deal with these map questions, how to practice them, how to make strategies to deal with such questions. If you see previous year's prelims papers, you find that there are a lot of questions asked based on maps. And if you opt for geography in mains, then also you will find that there is a question on map of India, which is a compulsory question. And if you want to achieve your dreams, then as this saying goes by a very famous geographer, a map is the greatest of all epic poems. Its lines and colors show the realization of great dreams. So to follow your great dreams, you have to practice maps, and in this lecture I will precisely tell you how to do that. So before I prepared this lecture, I have studied the prelims papers from 2008 to 2019, and on that basis I have made this lecture. And so I will cover the following topics. Type of map questions that can be asked. There are a variety of questions, types of questions that are asked, so I will deal with all of them. How to prepare for these questions. I will tell you how to practice these questions, how can they be asked, then how to practice for these questions daily. So there will be some strategies for you to understand that how you can practice them daily. And then there will be some past questions which I will discuss with every point that I discuss in this lecture. And then I have some sample questions for you to practice, so that you get an idea or whether you are understanding your strategies well or not, and how to go about it. So let's start, dear friends, with these topics. So there are mainly location questions that are asked. There are many type of questions you will see as I go further down in this lecture. They are factual in nature, so you don't have application type of questions. They are factual, means they are facts. It is located here, so it is located here, so it will be asked like that. Okay. It has been observed that those locations which are in news are also asked as map questions. So those places which have been in news for the year for some reasons are asked in maps. So you must keep an eye on and give an ear to the news that comes before you appear for your exam. And difficulty is level is from moderate to difficult. They are not very easy questions basically. So though they are factual questions and though they are location based questions, they are not that easy because they are not meant to be easy. They are meant to confuse you, and so you should be very well prepared for them. You should practice beforehand. So let's start and let's see the various types of questions that are asked. Surrounding questions. So the first type in this is the surrounding question. In these questions, those questions are asked in which something is surrounded by other things. Okay. So those locations will be asked where something is surrounded by something. For example, a particular sea and countries that are surrounding it. So if you know, if you see some of the seas, okay, like the Mediterranean Sea or the Black Sea or the Aral Sea or the Baltic Sea. So these seas are surrounded by countries. These are not very big seas. They are mostly landlocked or they are partially landlocked. Mediterranean Sea is almost landlocked except at the Strait of Gibraltar. So you know you must practice these areas where you know that some seas are surrounded by some countries. So you must pay attention to focus on such seas. Then there can be a major country sharing borders with smaller surrounding countries. So this can also happen. So a major country like Russia or China or say India, and there are smaller surrounding countries. So you must know the location of the major country and the countries which surround it. So that can be pretty confusing because China is surrounded by almost 14 countries. Russia is almost surrounded by 14 countries. So that becomes difficult, and therefore I'm saying that they are not easy questions. But they become moderate questions if you practice them beforehand. So you need not fear. These are just tips for you to practice a lot and you know what you have to practice. Then there could be a lake and surrounding cities or countries can be asked. So there are sometimes big lakes which are shared by more than one country. For example, the Great Five Lakes or Lake Victoria. So you must know which country is surrounded by which lake. Okay, or there can be cities like Lake Michigan or Lake Huron. So there are various cities located on these lakes. So you must know about the lakes and the cities. For such questions, you should be thorough with water bodies. Especially, you should target water bodies, okay, which are shared by more than countries. So here I have taken example of Black Sea or Mediterranean Sea. So let's look at their maps and you will understand what I want to say. So here you see Black Sea. Black Sea is surrounded by so many countries. Can you see Ukraine? Here Romania, Moldova. Then you have Turkey over here. You have Georgia over here. Okay, so such countries, they are surrounded by Black Sea. Black Sea surrounds them. And here if you see the Mediterranean Sea, you have countries in Africa, you have countries in Asia, and you have countries in Europe which surround it. So it's a big sea, and it is almost landlocked sea. Another type of surrounding questions which I have already told you is is about the sea and this. And so let's take an example. And this question was asked in 2019 prelims. Okay, so sea, 5 seas are given: Adriatic Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and Red Sea. These seas are actually, I must tell you that is a concentration of seas in this area. There are very small seas which are partially landlocked or fully landlocked, and therefore you must concentrate very well in this area. And if a map question is likely to come, then it is likely that it will come from this area. Okay, so seas are given and bordering countries are given, and you have to tell which of the pairs of the following are correctly matched. So whether one and the country which is shown, sea and the country which is shown, is correctly paired or not, you have to tell in the answer. So Adriatic Sea, Albania is correct. Black Sea, Croatia is wrong. Okay, Caspian Sea, Kazakhstan is correct. Mediterranean Sea, Morocco is correct. Red Sea, Syria is incorrect. Okay, so this we know because we have practiced the map. Okay, that is why we know. So now 2 and 5 are wrong, and 1 and 3 and 4 are correctly paired. So the answer will be B, 1, 3 and 4 only. Then again, I've question which I have discussed. I've told you, like, you have to look for large countries which are surrounded by smaller countries like Russia or China or India. Then also you should look at those countries which are smaller. So you need not just look at large countries, but you can also look at countries which are very small, but they are located in a group. Okay, and you tend to get confused between them. So they are located in one location. For example, countries in Southeast Asia. So who are the countries in Southeast Asia? You have Laos, you have Vietnam, you have Cambodia, you have Thailand, and you get confused as to which country is to the west of which country. So you get confused. So you must practice such areas very well. These are all confusing areas. Or Southwest Asia. So you don't know where is Jordan, where is Iran, where is Iraq, where is Syria. Okay, so these are again the confusing areas. Erstwhile USSR. So those countries which were part of the erstwhile USSR. There were some 15 countries. Now they have broken apart from erstwhile USSR. But they still surround the country, right? So you must know those countries now which have become independent countries. And the South Central Europe, that is Romania, Hungary, Moldova, Ukraine, and Croatia. So these countries, so they are also again a confusing patch. So those countries which occur in patches, and they are small countries, but they surround each other so near, they are so near to each other that you tend to get confused. So you must practice such areas also. So another question, this was asked in 2015. Which of the following countries of Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? Now out of these 4 countries, if you see the map of Mediterranean Sea, you will find that Jordan is a landlocked country. It doesn't border Mediterranean Sea. On the other hand, Israel, Syria and Lebanon, they border, but Jordan doesn't border. Okay, so the answer will be B, Jordan. Okay. A similar question which was asked in 2017, it was actually a repeat of 2014. Mediterranean Sea is a border of which of the following countries? Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and Syria. So we have just seen the earlier map that was there, and we have seen that Iraq and Jordan don't have Mediterranean Sea border, and therefore the answer will be, so there is no Iraq and there is no Jordan. So only 3 and 4. So C is the correct option. Okay, let us take another question asked in 2014. Turkey is located between. So the Turkey is located between Black Sea. So it is only located on the Black Sea. There is no between. Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea, Gulf of Suez and Mediterranean Sea, Gulf of Aqaba and Dead Sea. So here if we refer to the map of Turkey, you will find that Turkey lies in between Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. It is exactly in between the two seas. Okay, so the answer is Turkey. So answer is Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Turkey is located between these two seas. Okay, so B is the option. Let us take another question from 2008. Which of the following countries share border with Moldova? Now here I would again like to tell you why Moldova, out of out of the blue. Why have they asked this question suddenly? So it's not so suddenly as you feel in exams, because you feel that you have heard this country or this place for the first time, but it is not so. For the past year it has come in news for some reason, and therefore I said that you should pay attention to the news. So Moldova in 2007 was in news because of some geopolitical reasons, and therefore it was asked in 2008 as a question with bordering. So let's see the map of Moldova. Okay, so now when you see the map of Moldova, you find that it is only surrounded by Romania and Ukraine. It is not surrounded by any other country like Belarus. So the answer is 1 and 3 only. Okay, so it is not surrounded by Belarus. So the answer is 1 and 2 only. Sorry. So A option is the correct option. Okay. Next type of question that can be asked is north to south or east to west questions. So in such type of questions, you can be asked about water bodies, you can be asked about countries, cities or rivers, and they can be asked to arrange from east to west or north to south. Okay, so you must know at least few of them. If 5 are asked, you must know at least 3 or 4 of them. If 4 are asked, you must know at least 3 of them, so that you can arrange. Otherwise, if you don't know any of them, or if you just know one of them, it is of no use. So you should increase your knowledge about locations. You should know which rivers are located where, which countries are located in which latitude or longitude, as comparative locations, and only then you can be able to arrange these. Okay, so what is the correct sequence of occurrence of the following cities in Southeast Asia as one proceeds from south to north? So if I take Bangkok, Hanoi, Jakarta and Singapore, okay, I must know which of these is the southernmost of all, and then which of these is the northernmost of all, and then I will have to arrange the cities from southernmost to northernmost. So here I have taken a map and see Jakarta is the southernmost, then you have Singapore, then you have Bangkok, and then you have Hanoi. So the answer will be Singapore, Jakarta, Bangkok, Hanoi. So 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2. So the answer is option C. Okay, then there are questions related to Tropic of Cancer or Capricorn or Equator or Greenwich Meridian or International Dateline. Okay, so you must know which countries are there, which through which these latitudes or longitudes pass, right? And international dateline is out of all of these, international dateline is the most trickiest, because it is not a straight line. Okay, like the Greenwich Meridian, it is an adjustment of 180 degree east or 180 degree west longitude, because the countries have adjusted and have chosen to stay to the east or to the west of the time zone. So they have accepted other time zones of some other countries. So to follow those countries, the international dateline is a crooked line, and it is not a straight line like the others, and therefore it becomes a very tricky question. So for these type of questions, you should be well conversant with location of all these latitudes and longitudes. So Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn and Equator, these are the latitudes, and Greenwich Meridian and international dateline are the longitudes which you must be well conversant with. So you must make a list of those countries, you must make a map of those countries where through which these cities or countries are passing through, and passing through these latitudes or longitudes. So let us take examples. So this question was asked in 2009. Consider the following countries: Australia, Namibia, Brazil and Chile. Through which of the above does the Tropic of Capricorn pass? Now, if you have not studied map questions, if you have not practiced, if you have not seen where are the locations of which countries, or through where is Tropic of Capricorn passing, you will find this question very difficult. You will not be able to answer, and you may get confused. Like, you might know about Australia, but you might be confused between Chile and Namibia. Okay, so it is good to practice. So that's why I'm telling you all these examples, so that you know what type of questions can be asked, and you have to prioritize some areas, and you have to study those areas more, because the likeliness of those questions coming is more. Okay, so so let's see now. We will refer to a map. This map shows those countries in green through which Tropic of Capricorn is passing, and we find that it is passing through all the 4 given countries that are given as options. So the answer will be D, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So all the 4 are the countries through which Tropic of Capricorn is passing. Let us take another example of ideal. This question was asked in 2008. Which of the following straits is nearest to the ideal? Okay, so Malacca Strait, Bering Strait, Strait of Florida, Strait of Gibraltar. So if I refer to a map here, see, I had told you the international date line is not a straight line, it is a crooked line, because those islands or countries have adjusted to different time zones. So that is why the international date line is not the same as the 180 degrees east or 180 degree west longitude. It is a little crooked line. Yeah, so here we come back to our question. Malacca Strait. Malacca Strait is near Malaysia. So it is a little away from the international date line. Bering Strait is the strait which separates Russia from Alaska. Okay, so that is where actually the international date line is passing through. Strait of Florida is here in America, near Mexico, which is again far away. And Strait of Gibraltar is here in Europe, between Spain and Morocco, Spain and Algeria, in Mediterranean Sea. So it is again out of question. So the answer will be B, Bering Strait, because it is through Bering Strait that the international date line is passing. So here, if you have practiced international date line, this question will not be difficult for you, right? Okay, let's move on. So this was another question again which was asked in 2008. Which of the following cities is nearest to the equator? Colombo, Jakarta, Manila, Singapore. So again, you must know the countries which are passing through the equator. Also, you must know the cities located on or near the equator. Okay, because here questions like north to south and south to north can be asked. Okay, so when I refer to the map, I see that equator is this red line, and Singapore is the closest to the equator than the other 3 cities. So the answer would be Singapore. D is the correct answer. Then another similar question was asked in 2018. Now, this question highlights something very important. Like I have told you that the question can pertain to Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, equator, or international date line, or Greenwich meridian. Now these are 5 important latitudes and longitudes, 3 important latitudes and 2 important longitudes. But here in this question in 2018, a question on longitude was asked, but it was not one of those 2 longitudes or one of those 3 latitudes. This was asked with relation to Delhi. Now Delhi is a very important city in India. It's the capital city of India. So this gives you an hint. This gives you a hint that you have to practice and see the capital cities also. So you should pay attention to some of the important capital cities of the world, of some countries, and also take into account their locations, their latitudinal or longitudinal locations, and compare it with other cities. So here this question will give you an idea about what I am talking. So among the following cities, which one lies on a longitude closest to that of Delhi? Now Delhi longitude is not a very famous longitude. Okay, it is not like Greenwich meridian or international date line, but still this question has been asked because Delhi is a very important city in India. So let's see, this is a map of India, and here you can see Delhi's longitude is shown by the red line, and these 4 locations have been shown by red dots, you can see. So if I compare it with Delhi longitude, I see that the Bengaluru city is the closest to the Delhi longitude. So answer is A, Bengaluru. Okay, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Now, location inside the water bodies or island locations. Now, this is also a very important part. Sometimes what happens that an island is located near the mainland, like Cyprus, okay, or Sicily, the islands near Italy, or islands near Greece. So these are islands in the Southeast Asia, like Singapore. Singapore is located at the tip of Malaysia. Okay, islands in the Caribbean, right? Kingston Island or Antilles or something like that. So Baltic Sea in Northern Europe. So these islands which are located near the mainland, the questions can be asked on that also. Okay, so they are a group of islands or they are such islands where they are located near the mainland. So the questions can be asked on those islands also. Okay, so you should make a note of those islands which are close to some mainland, or they are some group of famous islands like the Antilles Islands or something like that. So let us see an example about this. This was asked in 2008. In which one of the following is Malta located? Now Malta is an island, and there are 4 seas that are given to you, and you have to tell out of these 4 in which sea is Malta located. Now again this question comes in mind, why Malta? Why is Malta asked? Now again I will tell you that in 2007-8 Malta was in news for some reason. Okay, so it was in current affairs, so that is why Malta has been asked. So you have to pay attention to something which is in news again, and so you can get solve the question if it is asked in the exam next year. So now let's see the map of Malta. See, can you see Malta? Can you identify the sea which is being shown here? Yes, so it is the Mediterranean Sea. So B is the answer. Okay. Yes. Here's another question. In this question, you have the question is that you have to, if you're traveling through the Strait of Malacca, then you will come across which island? You will come across Bali, you will come across Brunei, you will come across Java, or you will come across Singapore. So these are the 4 islands you will come across. And the question is, if you cross Strait of Malacca, which of the islands will you come across? So here you can see in the map, if you Strait of Malacca, if you cross Strait of Malacca, is the separator between Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay, so if you're crossing Strait of Malacca, you will first see Singapore, because Singapore is at the tip of Malaysia. So Singapore is the right answer. So D is the right answer. Another type of question which I would like to point out now are the river locations. So you must know which are the important rivers, and you must know where they pass through, which countries they are passing through, where do they originate, where do they fall into the sea, which sea are they falling into, which are the main cities and countries that they are traveling through. So all these questions. I would give you some examples here. For example, let's take Ganga. The Ganga is a river which is originating in India, right? It originates in Gangotri and it falls into the Bay of Bengal. That is again in India. So this is a country which is rising in India and falling in Indian territory. But there could be some rivers like the Brahmaputra, which rises in Mansarovar Lake, near Mansarovar Lake. So it rises near Tibet, China, and then it passes through the country, and then it comes into India and falls into the Bay of Bengal. So there can be such rivers also which pass through many countries. Take the example of Mekong. Mekong rises again in China, and then it passes through 6 countries, and it falls into the South China Sea. It makes a delta in the South China Sea. It passes through 6 countries in between, and it traverses around 4,500 kilometers. So there are different types of rivers. So you must know all these rivers and where they are originating. They may originate in some different country, and they may fall into the sea or meet the sea in some other country. So you must know about these rivers. Now let's take an example of river Danube. The Danube passes through 10 countries in Europe. So you must know those 10 countries. You must know the important cities that are located on this river when the river is passing through these 10 countries. Okay, so these are some examples which I have given. And when you are studying about river locations, you must make an important note of all these. Also, you must make an important note of major dam locations. For example, the Aswan Dam on Nile or Tennessee Dam in America. So you must make all the note of all of these. So let's take an example. This question was asked in 2009. Here, 4 pairs are given, cities and rivers. So there are 4 cities and there are 4 rivers, and you have to tell which of these is not correct. Okay, they have been matched, they have been paired, and you have to tell which of them are wrongly paired or incorrectly matched. Okay. So Berlin and Rhine, London and Thames, New York and Hudson, Vienna and Danube. So out of all these 4, 3 are correct. London, Thames, New York, Hudson, Vienna, Danube. They are correctly paired. But Berlin and Rhine is the wrong answer, because Berlin lies on Spree River and not on Rhine River. Okay, so A is the correct answer. Now, there is something called the ownership questions or overseas territory question or news question. So, I have combined all the 3 here. And in such questions, there are some of the parts of the countries which are not located near the country, but they are located overseas, that is very far away from the country. For example, Greenland is located located away from Denmark, and it's an overseas territory of Denmark. Falkland Islands, located in the southern tip of South America, is an overseas territory of United Kingdom. Canary Islands is an overseas territory of Spain. So you must know about all these places. So when you are studying these places, make a note of such places, because questions may be asked about overseas territory as they are located away from the mainland, from the main country. Okay. There are questions about news also, as I've already discussed this, but I will discuss this in detail over here, give you some example. And generally those places are asked which are not very common to hear. They will not ask you location of Mumbai, because Mumbai is in news. Okay, they will ask you those places which are remote or which you have never heard before, which are very uncommonly heard, uncommonly written about. Okay, for example, Mosul. Now, Mosul in Syria was a very unheard kind of place. You wouldn't normally hear about Mosul, but it came in news because of the ISIS activities, right? Then Oromia in Ethiopia. Oromia in Ethiopia wouldn't be so commonly heard, but Oromia came in news because of the malnutrition and deaths that occurred in that country because of the ongoing civil war. So that became a news, and therefore it could be asked in. I'm just giving you examples. So you have to find those locations which were in news for different reasons, but they are not very common places. Okay, there are some uncommon places, they are remote places, they are places which not everybody will be hearing about, or you don't commonly hear about. Okay, so I hope you are getting an idea about such questions. Okay friends, so now these are all the type of questions that I have discussed. So these were all questions from prelims question papers asked from 2008 to 2019, and I have discussed most of them. So let's see now what to do. Now, how to study these map questions. So firstly, before even I start discussing the strategies, I would say buy the latest atlas. An atlas is not very costly affair. Though you have access to internet, though you may be using internet, or you might be having books, but I would still say atlas is the best friend. Atlas is the best thing to study map locations from. Okay, so please buy an atlas. It's not very costly. You can just buy it for some 100 rupees. Adopt the strategy of one continent per day. Now, what to do next? Now, when you buy an atlas, you just have to read it. So you learn how to read an atlas. There is an index given at the back. So there are 2 ways you can read an atlas: through an index, which is given at the back, or you can just read it like a book, or just like you read a dictionary. Okay, so then you can take the strategy of one continent per day. So every day you take up one continent. So you start with first continent, say you start with Africa, and then what do you study? Then you study the mountains, you study the rivers, you study the cities, you study the countries, you study the lakes, you study which seas surround Africa, which countries are located in Africa, and how are they located, who is the neighbor of whom. So you study all these countries for one day, these continent for one day, and you bring blank maps from the market for all the continents and countries that you can bring. If you can't bring, then you can just trace it from the atlas and get it xeroxed, okay, so that you can practice them more and more. Then getting the blank maps and you start placing these. So if you are studying the mountains of Africa, you mark them on the map. Okay, and then when you are done with the 7 continents for 7 days, then you have to take some special cases. Okay, what are those special cases which I have already discussed? Cases that confuse you, cases that are easily confusing for anyone. For example, countries in the Middle East, countries in Southeast Asia, countries in Central Europe, countries of the erstwhile USSR, right? So these countries, or countries which are around the Mediterranean Sea, there are some 12, 13 countries which are around Mediterranean Sea, countries around the Black Sea, countries around the Caspian Sea. So such examples you must take, and you must trace the map from your atlas using a butter paper, and then you can do the xerox of it, and then using paper you have to plot those maps, plot those countries on the map, mark those countries on the map, and practice it. And that is why I'm saying buy an atlas. An atlas is your best friend for UPSC prelims. Then after you complete the 7 continents, after you complete the special case studies that I have given you, you can then go on to studying rivers, because they are very important. So you have to make a map where there will be only rivers, and you mark them from their heads, that is their origin, to their mouths, that is their end point. Okay, so important cities, important rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Kaveri, Mahanadi, Tapti, Narmada, Brahmaputra, Indus and tributaries, these are Indian rivers. And then world rivers like Amazon, Nile, Volga, Danube, Rhine, Mississippi, Colorado, Mekong, Irrawaddy, Huanghe, Yangtze, etc. And on these rivers you also mark the important countries and cities that are located on their way. So on their course from their origin to their endpoint, which countries or which cities they pass through, you also have to mark them. So this will complete your river portion. And then you go on to the other water bodies like the important straits. Yeah, I've already told you what is strait. Strait is a small narrow body of water which is coming between two lands, right, which separates two lands. It is a very narrow body, like Strait of Gibraltar or Strait of Bering or Malaya Strait. Okay, so such straits, you must pay attention to such straits or gulfs or lakes. Then you must make different maps for locations near equator, for locations near tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, for locations of Greenwich Meridian, and for locations of international dateline. So you have to make separate maps for each of these. Okay, and only then will you be able to practice them thoroughly. Now there are some other general strategies also which will help you to make your practice better and increase your understanding of map questions. First is to make a point to read newspapers daily. So you're already reading newspapers, I hope, for your general knowledge, for your current affairs, to make your current affairs good. So at the same time, what you just have to do is to identify those locations which you are unaware of, firstly, and secondly, you might be aware or unaware, but still at large they are little unknown places, remote places, like I've already told you examples of, like Mosul. Okay, so things like that. So you have to make a note of those locations and also mark them on the map. Also, I would say that you can take a colored print of countries, okay, from atlas, or you can also, what you can do is you can make these maps which you have already prepared, continent maps or country maps, river maps, and paste them on the wall, or paste them on a notice board type of frame, so that whenever you are coming into the room, going out, eating, and even just sitting, you can just have a look at the maps. They should always be in front of you and you get an idea. So this will help you to visualize. When you are giving the exam, you tend to be nervous, but then these practice maps, these strategies will help you to visualize the countries, and those visualizations will come to your mind during exam and help you to solve the map questions. Okay, if possible, you can also draw these maps by hand and just make some schematic maps. These maps need not be to scale. You can just draw them and paste them on the wall, on the wall, tie them on the wall, and the more you practice, you will remember them. So these are the strategies that I have for you, and I hope that this will help you to help your map questions get better. And I hope that you will do well in your map questions, and this will give you more confidence. So all the best, my dear students, for that. So before I end up, we'll just take up these sample questions. So this is one. Again, this is from west to east. So these are all these sample questions have been drawn from what I have said earlier. So there are 5 questions: Sambar Lake, Vembanad Lake, Pulikat Lake, Chilka Lake, and Loktak Lake. And you have to arrange them from west to east. So here some common sense can also be applied. Which is the westernmost of all of these? So if I say there is Sambar Lake, suppose you don't know all the 5 lakes, you don't remember the location of all the 5 lakes, then you know that Sambar Lake is the westernmost. So 1 will be the first one, and then east Loktak Lake. So Loktak Lake is in Manipur, so it is going to be the easternmost. So 1 and 5. So A option is the correct option. So you see, even if I don't know all of them, I can still solve the question if I know few of them. Next question, you have to look at this map and identify the countries. Okay, so you must know this is the map of the Baltic Sea, and these countries 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they are going to be either of Finland, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia. So if you practice the Baltic Sea map very well, if you do it like this, like it is shown in the frame, if you practice and you put numbers and then identify those countries, you will be able to solve this sample question also. So I think you can do it on your own. I'm leaving it to you. So what you have to do is, soon after the video, you have to open your atlas and solve this question. I'm not going to solve it. Which of these cities lies closest to the Greenwich Meridian? So there are 4 cities that are given: Johannesburg, Casablanca, Algiers and Cape Town. So out of these 4, which of the cities is closest to the Greenwich Meridian? So Johannesburg and Cape Town, they are in Africa, so they are a little towards the eastern side of Greenwich Meridian. They are a little away, so you can get confused between Algiers and Casablanca. But you have done your practice well if you have already plotted the cities that are located on the Greenwich Meridian and those cities which are located near the Greenwich Meridian. You will understand that Algiers is located to the closest than Casablanca. Okay, so Algiers is the correct answer. Thank you guys. So this was all about map questions. I hope this video will help you to achieve your aim. All the best. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.